डर डर से मत डर, डर से मत डर, कुछ अलग कर। 6 उंगलियों वाला कभी कलाकार नहीं बन पाएगा, डर तुझे ये समझाएगा, पर तू आत्मविश्वास दिखाएगा, तू डर से आंख मिलाएगा। डर से मत डर, कुछ अलग कर, डर का सामना कर, आगे बढ़, कुछ अलग कर।
Do you experience fear? I'm sure you do. Well, it's not something unique to you. You, me, everybody on this planet Earth, we go through fear. Now, if you find yourself crippled because of fear, you find yourself not taking certain actions that you really need to because of fear, then there is an impact that needs to be looked into, that needs to be reflected upon, right? And it's quite interesting that our personalities have evolved and have been shaped by massive fear in the last few centuries. And today we are going to dive a little deeper into what this whole fear game is, how has it penetrated our society at large, and what is the impact, and what can we really do about it, right? So stay on until the end. Hi, I'm Aastha Tatia, daughter of 2 rock-solid pillars, mother to a lovely daughter, wife of a humor king, an engineer, MBA corporate executive turned anchor person, now an author and a happiness coach, helping corporate leaders build their happiness muscle by expressing their higher potential. If what you hear today makes sense, resonates with you, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you've not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Robert Peckham, who's a fellow at Royal Historical Society of London. So this was an article that I was reading, and his book called Fear, An Alternative History of the World. Now, there he talks about how in the last 700 years, the fear has penetrated our society at a very deeper level, at a very massive level. So there's been fear of religion, fear of diseases, fear of unemployment, fear of authority, the ruler, and whatnot, right? And it has grown so much that it has started to pass on. It's passing on at that high level of intensity from one generation to the other. Now, fear is there. It's a natural thing. It's there. Each one of us experiences fear. And it is very important for us to survive, for us to safeguard ourselves, to protect ourselves, right? So when there are threats, I need to take care of myself. And I do that when there is fear. The trouble is when I start to believe what I believe, the beliefs and those thoughts govern me, and everything around me, I start to perceive as a threat, which then evokes fear inside of me. So whether it is a threat or not, like a real threat or not, but just because of the way I think and because of the way I feel about it, because of the beliefs that I'm carrying, it appears to me as a massive threat. And when it is a threat, when there's a threat, I experience fear. Yeah. And everything pretty much is becoming a fear. Huge list of fears. Now, what is worth considering is the impact of this fear. When everything around me evokes fear, in fact, that's kind of become a strategy. If you see, fear sells, right? So the rulers or the authority, they are inculcating, they are bringing in fear, or they are increasing the fear which is already there amongst people. And that is what they are using to kind of build on, to kind of spread their wings. And when the fear dominates, when the fear starts to govern, when you are totally governed by the fear, oh my God, what if not? When I am in that zone, then I'm only trying to confirm to certain things so that things don't go wrong, because there's this fear, so that I'm not abandoned, so that people, don't stop loving me, so that What if they stop accepting me for who I am? So there is this whole lot of fear, and we have started to act out of that fear. How many of you resonate with this? How many of you are like, wow, that's exactly what I'm doing? That all my actions, all my behaviors, all my conduct is coming from a place of fear, right? Now, quite interesting, what do you do about it? So when it is penetrating the society at such a deep level, it's overpowering, and it is passing on from one generation to the other, to the other, to the other, so much so that it's shaped our personality, and we are largely living our lives from that place. There's one thing that Robert Peckham has spoken about, and that is laughter. And he says, if we can use laughter more and more, authentic laughter, then that helps move beyond fear. Right? So that's one. But what I want to talk to you about is yet another thing which is very powerful. And I was just reading Byron Katie, and she speaks about fear, or you being frightened, as an outcome of you remembering your past or anticipating your future, which means you are not in the present moment. I'll repeat, think about it. When you are thinking about your past, recalling your past, remembering the past, or you are anticipating the future, which means what is happening right now is evoking fear in you. You are like, oh my God, what's happening? This person is saying this. My life is over. I am ruined. It's all gone, done. When you experience this and there's fear, it's because that which is happening is bringing the past alive for you, or you're anticipating a future which is not favorable, which means I'm not really present here in this moment. Because if I'm present here, then all I'm doing is I'm listening and I'm receiving it as it is. Then there's no place for fear. Think about it. If I'm just receiving what you're saying as it is, then there's no place for fear. Fear comes in when something about future triggers me, or I recall a past which triggers me. Both the scenarios, I'm not even there in the present. If only I can learn to be in the present moment, then it's about, then I can move beyond fear. Which means if I can be present in the now, I can do away with all those thoughts and the resulting feelings that pull me into fear. So I think the questions that I really want to put forward here for you: what is the impact fear has on you? And one of the big ones is you, I promise, are not expressing your highest and truest potential, isn't it? The version of you that you're operating at is guaranteed not your peak version, not your highest version. And what stops you from expressing your higher potential? What stops you from taking that step? What stops you from expressing yourself? What stops you from saying what you want to say, from being who you want to be, is fear. So fear cripples you, and that's where the problem is. As long as fear only protects you, super, we need that. But when it cripples you, that's where pain is. Then you just stagnate. Then you're living only from a certain place, and that may not be the most exciting one. If you want to express your higher potential, then you need to be able to move beyond the fear. And for that, I need to first get present to, oh, there's fear. I'm operating out of fear. And this is the impact today that's there. And now, can I move beyond? So which means bringing in laughter, because when there's laughter, then I move beyond fear. Then that whole people who are trying to create that fear also, if you think that's what it is, they go low, they go powerless. Whatever it is that is causing that fear will go powerless. Fear will loosen its grip over you. So laughter, and two, being present in the moment, right now, taking it as it is. And remember, if you think you're in the present and yet you're experiencing fear, you're scared and you feel, oh my God, what's happening? You're either in the past or you're in the future, both of which may be scary for you. And that's what's causing the fear, not the present. Think about it, reflect, sit down with yourself, assess what's happening, like get to the awareness of what fear is doing to you. And are you okay with it? And if you're not, then once you're aware, there lies a scope for you to turn around the things. And it needs practice. All it needs is practice. Yes, the question is, are you willing to do that? Yeah. So if you have been listening to this up until now, right, and if this made sense, then I want you to go ahead, like this video, share it with whoever you think is important, relevant for. And number 3, I want you to, in the comments, share with me what's happening. What did you figure out for yourself? What opened up for you? What did you understand about fear and your chemistry? Not the general gyan, but what did you get about yourself? And how is it impacting you? What do you want to do now? Right? The idea is not to eliminate fear, because fear is always going to be there. But the idea is fear being my power tool, which helps me to protect myself, not fear crippling me. That version of fear is what I am talking about, is what I want you to reflect on. I hope this made sense. I look forward to hearing from you, and see you in the next one. Take care.